Today I'm going to talk about social media. I'm going to talk about what I did right, what I did wrong, which is a lot, and what I plan to do in the future and how I'm hoping that will impact my writing and publishing career. So if you're a writer, stay on board and listen in. And if you're a fan, continue listening too. If you're a reader, and see if anything jives with you. Okay, social media. I know some of you are thinking, oh, this is the worst thing ever. I hate social media. Oh, why am I doing this? I'm a writer. I write. I don't do social media. Well, in today's world, you have to do social media. This is how the news gets out. This is how people find out about your books, your releases, and most importantly, about you as a writer. Because you're not just selling books. Yes, you are selling books, but like those lifestyle bloggers that you see, you're kind of selling yourself too. You're letting people know who you are, and they're choosing to follow you because they like your books, but also because hopefully they think you're a cool person. Basically, what you're doing with social media is you're turning casual readers of your books, those people who might want a little bit more than just your book, you're taking those casual readers and you're making them engaged fans. And then you're turning those fans into like mega fans who, really enjoy listening to you and hearing about what you're doing. They're mega fans. So reader engagement is the whole reason for social media. There's a lot of different platforms. I'm going to go into the different platforms and how I think your strategy should be for each of those platforms. But let me talk about some basic strategy that you can have across all platforms first. Okay, what you want to do with social media is the old 80-20 rule. And it seems like everything has an 80-20 rule. It applies to pretty much everything in life, it seems like. It also applies to this. What you're doing is you're trying to keep your readers engaged and interested in you, especially if you're not publishing every month. This is a way that a reader will remember you and actually be checking in when you do release that book, because 80% of the time you are not saying buy my book, buy my book, buy my book, but are saying something interesting that is native to the platform that you're using and that is little bits of micro content. That micro content can be book related, it can be a cover reveal, it can be a little snippet of what you're writing. It can be, some swag that you have. It could be just little information, character interviews, but it can also be stuff about you. It can be a picture of you sitting at your back porch with your laptop and your hot cup of tea. It can be a quick post about what hot tea should I drink tonight, or what beer should I have tonight, or oh, it's the night before my release and I just want to binge on some Netflix movies. What do you guys recommend? It can be just little things about your life. Pictures of your dog, your cat. Cat pictures are big. Do the cat. Think about your brand. Think about the type of books you're selling. And think about how your micro content that you're putting out can possibly tie in with that. I know authors that are amazing knitters and do not only knitting project pictures of hats and sweaters and scarves that they do, but they also knit or felt cute little things that relate to their books. And that's very interesting. A good friend of mine is a planner junkie, and I like planners too, so I'm kind of in that camp also. But she talks a lot about her planners and systems she's using, and what pens she has. And there's a lot of people that are really intrigued by that. So if you are a cozy mystery writer, and you want to do some muffin recipes, Muffin recipes are great. If you want to talk about some Golden Girls reruns that you were watching, that fits too. If you do dark horror or dark fantasy or dark romance, talk about, maybe some spooky places that are local to you or that you've visited, or interesting cemeteries you've gone to, or some scary movies that you've seen. Or what was your favorite scary movie when you were a kid? Or what was the first horror movie you ever watched and how old were you? That kind of stuff is really cool. If you've got a character in a fantasy that maybe reads tarot cards, draw an occasional tarot card and talk about that. And, you could also talk about other things that your characters do. I got a lot of mileage out of chicken wands and hot wings and vodka. So there you go. And every meme you see, every picture you take, every blog post you come across, those are all opportunities for you to share those and engage your fans that way. So if something interesting comes along, I will save it to a special folder that I have on my iPhone, or a folder I have on my laptop, and I will have this folder that's specifically for content. And here's where I get into my planner nerd stuff. I have this. This is a little happy planner that I got, and it's not very big. It's like pretty small. And what I do in here is it's dated. So each day of the week, I've got my little planner stuff, and I color code it. So pink is the micro content that is the 80% that is not by my book. And then blue is things like a status update on a book release, a pre-order link, announcement of the audio that's come out, that sort of thing. What I try to do, and as you can see that I do not do it in this book, but what I try to do is I'd like to post something on my main social media platforms every day. That doesn't happen because I'm trying to put out 17 books a year. So that's my priority right now. But having this calendar reminds me every day. So if I go a day and I don't post something, it reminds me, I need to post something. And if I don't have something going on in those days that I can post, I've got that folder. So I can talk about, the cool beer festival I went to over the weekend. Or I can pull up that interesting meme that I saw a couple days ago and share that. Or a real interesting article on something, and I can share that too. There's always opportunities, but scheduling it, and I can schedule in advance things that I know I'm going to say and have out there. Or I can just record it as I do it. So I have sort of a running commentary of what I've done, and I have an idea of how I'm handling my social media platforms. Okay, so you've got some posts out there, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or your blog, and you're starting to get some comments. What do? Try to reply to every comment. I know it's hard. You're trying to write a book. You've got dinner you've got to get on the table. You have to sleep sometime. And some readers' comments are such that it's kind of hard to reply to them. But do at least thank them for commenting, make a comment about what they're saying. So if you've asked, what's your favorite Netflix movie? And somebody comes back and says, oh, I love XYZ. Then you could say, oh, I've heard of that. Some of my friends like it. Or, ooh, I don't know. Isn't that like a thriller? I don't normally watch thrillers. Or is it funny? Or was that the one with Drew Barrymore in it? Because that was really funny. I heard about that. Make some comments in there. It really helps to reply. Another thing is, what do you do if the comments cross the line? How do you do that? Well, first thing, if somebody's selling something else, especially if it's got a link, delete it. Delete the comment. Just flat out delete it, because that person is rude. If it's somebody who is interested in marrying somebody or is making a comment that has nothing to do with your post,
feel free to delete that too. Things that are a dick pic or political or racist, homophobic, or threatening, or clearly some kind of bot, delete, delete, delete. And in fact, you can even ban those people, which means they can't post on your wall anymore. Do it. What you can do if you're not really sure, if somebody makes a kind of a snarky comment, or it's your aunt and she keeps saying these kind of inappropriate things, but she's your aunt, what are you going to do? You can hide those comments. The person who commented will not know that it's hidden. They and their friends can still see the comment, but none of your other people on your page will be able to see the comment. It will be hidden. That's the good thing to do with that one person, that you don't want to outright delete the comment or ban them, but you just don't want that there. Now I'm going to talk real quick about the individual platforms, at least the ones that I use. And I'll start with Facebook, because for me, that's my main platform. For you, it might be a different platform. One of the important things is to know your brand and to know yourself and decide what platform you just feel the most you on, the most comfortable on, and make that your main one. Still post on other ones, but that's the one where your readers are going to connect with you because you're really being your authentic self there. So for me, that's Facebook. The key thing with Facebook is that they want there to be reader engagement. So if you've got a page on Facebook and you're wringing your hands because you've got 4,000 people that like your page and you post something and like 20 people seem to see it, that's typical and that's the way it's going to be. But you can make some changes there so that you actually are getting more organic reach without having to pay for it. And how do you do that? Again, the old 80-20 rule. Make sure that your micro content fits seamlessly in the reason somebody is on that platform. If somebody is on Facebook, it's because they're looking at pictures of their friends' kids playing soccer. They're looking at funny memes. They're looking for entertainment. The entertainment is the reason somebody's there. So make sure that your Facebook page posts are fitting seamlessly in with that entertainment and not sticking out like an annoying commercial in the middle of your favorite show. When you do that, you'll want to have a call to action. And a call to action doesn't have to be a button that says, buy my book. It can be anything that gets a reader to respond. And that can be something like a poll. Name your favorite cake flavor or ice cream flavor. Post a picture of your cat doing something funny. What was your first scary movie that you ever saw when you were a kid? Ask questions and you'll be surprised. When I first had my Facebook page, I thought all people wanted was, this is when my book's released. And that first post I did where I actually posted a picture of, I think it was my horse, and I was like, this is my horse, I'm going riding today. I was shocked at the number of people, even though I didn't have a call to action, I wasn't asking anybody a question to comment on. A lot of people liked and commented on that post. So do it. Just don't be afraid. Just reach out and do it and be authentic. And you'll see that the more you do that those posts aren't getting 20 likes and 20 people seeing them. They're getting 400, 600, 800, 1,200 people that are seeing those and liking them. And, 60 people are commenting on them. It's awesome. And then when you go to post your book release, instead of 20 people seeing it, Facebook's going to say, oh, this person posts a lot of cool stuff and her fans seem to really enjoy it and be very engaged. So I'm going to show them this one too. And guess what? 400, 600, 800, 1,200 people are going to see that too. You'll still probably have to pay to boost it, but you're not going to have to pay hundreds of dollars to get everybody to see it. And the chances that somebody's going to actually click on that link and buy your book are better because they know you, they like you. They're actually following you. You're a person to them. You're not somebody selling books. You're a human being that they identify with. Another thing about Facebook is that pictures do very well on Facebook. Links do not. If I'm doing a link to my YouTube page, then I know I'm going to have to boost it. If I'm putting that video right on Facebook, Facebook is going to show that to a lot more people. Facebook is not going to reward you as well for links that take you outside their platform. So sometimes what I will do is when I have a book release, I will do a marketing picture and then put the links for the release in there. So it's not that automated, Amazon, picture that comes up. It'll be my marketing picture, and then all the links will actually be in the post there. I'll do that, and I'll find that gets more organic reach too, because the links are in the text part. They're not assigned to the picture part. The picture will boost those Facebook algorithms and actually get it shown more. Okay, Twitter. I'm going to admit, I don't really do a lot on Twitter. It's just, I've tried. And first off, when I go to Twitter, it's like a black hole. I get sucked down there. And next thing I know, 4 hours of my day is gone because I'm reading posts and links to articles and everything. So that's really tough for me. I get sucked into Twitter far more than I do Facebook. Secondly, where Facebook is all about funny memes and, pictures of people's dinner and what their kids are doing and, chatty water cooler stuff, Twitter is clever and fast-paced and all about what's trending. If you see hot topics that are trending and you can be snappy and witty and say it in 140 characters, then you'll do really well on Twitter. Another thing with Twitter is you could be as clever as could be, but if you're not going around and reading other people's tweets, commenting on their tweets, sharing their tweets, and not just blindly sharing them, but sharing them with like a brief little comment on there, then you're missing out. The important thing about Twitter is engaging in other people's feeds, because the more you engage back and forth on other people's feeds, they will check out your feed. And if they check out your feed, then your posts are going to start showing up more organically within their daily feed. It's curated. It used to be that Twitter was the Wild West, and I would go on there and it would be like ticker tape on the New York Stock Exchange. Posts were frantically scrolling, and I'd be like, oh my God, I can't read that fast because I had 5,000 Twitter people I was following, and the posts were just, and it was crazy. And it's not like that anymore. Twitter has it now where it senses the people that you are reading the most from, and it kind of prioritizes that. So, if people are seeing you comment and, seeing your stuff shared by people they like, and they go to your profile and they end up following you, and they check out your stuff more often and interact, then their stuff is going to show up. So that's the whole game with Twitter. But again, the thing with Twitter is you've got to be clever, you've got to be snappy, and trending topics are always going to get you get you the more attention. Okay, now I'm going to talk about Instagram, because Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram are pretty much my big three, and I don't really do much on Twitter. Instagram it skews a little bit younger in audience than Facebook does in my experience. Facebook, I see a lot more people in their 30s and older, where Instagram, I do see a lot more 20-year-olds. In Instagram, the picture is everything, or the video is everything. So the quality of your picture and the filters you're using are really important. It's less about selling because you cannot use live links. So if you do post my book is released, the link doesn't matter. Make sure your marketing piece is artistically creative as possible, very interesting. And make sure that your link is short enough so that somebody can copy and paste it or remember it enough to type it in. That helps a lot. But I do know authors that have done really well on Instagram. I don't do as well on Instagram as far as sales go, but that's because 90% of my Instagram is horse pictures and dog pictures. It's just what I've always done on Instagram, and the people that follow me tend to follow me because they want to see pictures of my horses and dogs. Occasionally I will post a, hey, here's my new release. I don't know if anybody buys from that or not, but you certainly can make Instagram a major platform for you. Again, make sure that whatever you're posting fits your brand. So again, if you're doing horror, you can do all sorts of posts about, scary movies, scary locations, interesting graveyards, and somehow match that in with your brand. I didn't do the greatest job about that on Instagram, but maybe I'll work that in a little bit later. But for now, Facebook is my main jam. Twitter could be yours. You think, your audience is, and that's where you feel the best vibes. Or Instagram can be too. Or even LinkedIn. If, you sell nonfiction, I think LinkedIn is a great opportunity for nonfiction writers or people that do business services or consulting would do really well there. I don't know. I can't see LinkedIn people buying urban fantasy. Maybe I'm missing out on that market though. Okay, so that's all I've got for today. That's my social media, soapbox. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Next week is going to be some fun stuff because my birthday is next week. So I'm going to talk a bit about my childhood and show you guys some cringe-worthy pictures of me when I was like a kid with a mouthful of braces and that Lori Partridge hairdo, which is pretty similar to what I've got now, but parted in the middle, maybe. And so anyway, that will be next week. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you did, please subscribe. And if you subscribe, click the little bell button so that you'll be notified every time a new video posts. I post these every Friday. And I will also have my Patreon link down below in the comments. So if you are so inclined, you can leave a tip in my tip jar at Patreon. If not, enjoy these vlog posts and I'll see you next week.